family golden tradition.
In celebration of International Women's Day, OCG is launching a brand new video series on her grounds, spotlighting women across different industries. We will share their journeys, how they got to where they are today, and the impacts that they made on their communities. We believe every woman's story deserves to be heard, and we can't help but wonder, if their journey were a dish, what would it be?
Hi, my name is Charmaine Seah-Ong and I'm a video producer. I currently run the in-house production team at the Secret Little Agency, which is a local creative agency. And I guess my day-to-day responsibilities include coming up with creative concepts for photo shoots, videos, looking for talents, locations, running all the pre-production stuff, and I even get to direct sometimes. So the dish that I'm going to be making today is a dish that my mom has been making every Christmas Eve ever since I was a child. And it comes from this hefty cookbook here, which was printed in 1986. I checked and my mom has had it since 1988, here with her fancy signature. And as you can see, this cookbook has been through a lot. The dish is a cheesy shrimp and scallop coquille, which I guess is a fancy French name for a casserole. And yeah, we only get to eat it once a year. And I guess it's really special to me because it's one of the first few things I ever learned how to cook. And I would always get to prepare it with my mom and my brothers. And my mom has sort of like passed the torch to my brother Russell and I. So every Christmas Eve, we have to prepare this like massive dinner for, I want to say like 50 to 60 people. But it's a tradition in our family and we get to invite like our close friends, our chosen family. And yeah, so that's why this dish is something that I hold close to my heart.
Hi Charmaine, welcome to
Hi Jerome.
our kitchen.
What are you cooking today?
What am I cooking? What are you cooking today?
Can
Can you just run through the ingredients? Come, let me see if we're right.
Okay, so we have shrimp, we have tiger prawns that are deveined and cleaned. I'll have to chop them up, but they are here. And then we have scallops over there. They are not in their shell because scallops in their shell are so difficult to pry out. Have you tried to clean?
Yeah?
Yeah, hate doing that. Then we have chopped parsley, which he so nicely chopped for me just now because he has better knife skills than I do.
Don't see that.
We have flour, we have ground nutmeg, lots of good butter, and Gruyere cheese, grated. So good. Did I pass? That's it, right?
You got bread, right?
I do have bread. I
additional-
mean, that's not part of like the
It's
recipe,
okay.
but
It's your recipe today.
bread is always good. Also, why are you out of the green marker now?
Oh no, because I'm going off. Because you have to cook this dish by yourself actually.
You said you're gonna help me.
This is the surprise!
Okay. Not what I signed up for, but alright, cool. So
Alright,
basically,
I knew you were saying
when
that.
you said you will help me,
Just
all
kidding,
you
just kidding.
meant was that you're gonna help me chop parsley. That's it, is
Yes.
it?
No lah.
Cool, cool,
You can
cool.
actually ring to ask for help. Okay? Whenever
Ring
you
to
need
ask
it.
for help. Like,
Or use a spoon. Want me to be a bit more dramatic? You are the chef today.
no, but not always. Not usually. When you asked me to pick a dish that had special significance to me, I was like, damn, what am I going to choose? And obviously the first few dishes that came to my mind were all Peranakan dishes, like from my grandmother and stuff. But I finally settled on this one
That was what you had
because it's
over
the
CNY,
easiest
right?
to make.
That's what you had over CNY, right?
As in all the stuff that my grandmother
Yeah.
cooks, yeah. Yeah.
That
I mean,
was
my
cooked by your mom?
grandmothers have both passed already, but they've passed down their recipes.
Well, they look damn good. Eh?
Yeah. Peranakan food is great, just very time consuming to prepare and to cook, and lots of ingredients. Professional prawn slicer.
So this is a dish that you always cook with Russell.
Yeah. My helper likes to.
Oh, your helper. My helper come already.
No, I'm saying my helper likes to
Help.
say that Russell and I are like two old Peranakan ladies in the kitchen bickering all the time.
So
All the
your
mix.
family tradition is that all the siblings come together and cook something together. That's so,
So,
sweet. Eh? I've
last
never
time
cooked
it would
anything
be-
with my brothers before.
Last time it would be my mom and her sisters. Like they would come
Oh,
together and
okay.
cook. Like they would all come over and then prep dinner, both on Christmas Eve and Chinese New Year. But now they're like older and they want to relax, you know. So they just
Play the
supervise
grandkids.
us. while they drink beer or wine. Yeah, and then leave Russell and I to our devices in the kitchen. But yes, okay. Oh, I forgot to cut the scallop. Also, fun fact is that I was always very scared to cook by myself. And like even during the pandemic, while everybody was like baking bread and cooking and stuff like that, I kind of stayed out of the kitchen. Also because I live with my in-laws and I never felt like it was my domain. My in-laws have had a helper, the same helper for almost like 20 plus years, and the kitchen is very much like her place. So I always felt like I was intruding. I would never go to the kitchen except to like heat up food or something like that. And yeah, only after COVID did I decide to try cooking. And
What's your first dish? In your in-laws' kitchen, right?
the first thing I remember cooking in my in-laws' kitchen was, is it called tamagoyaki? Like the Japanese egg? The one you have to roll and roll and roll. Yeah, I did that. And I was like, I'm not bad at this.
That's not easy.
Yeah, so I did it a few times and I was like, oh, okay, actually it's kind of fun. I mean, sure, that was like a 3-ingredient dish or something, but from there, then I started trying out other stuff. Easy things like a lobster roll, you know?
A lobster roll is easy.
And then I decided, my brothers and I decided like we would come together on Sundays and we would have like a sibling cookout. So we would choose different dishes, I guess like maybe once every 2-3 weeks.
Does it happen every Sunday?
On Sunday evenings, we would all come together at my mom's place and we would cook together. And honestly, cooking with other people, I feel, is what I really enjoy. Even though now you're leaving me to cook by myself.
No, I sound like I want to cook with you.
But yeah, I enjoy cooking with my family.
I'm ringing to come in. Okay. What's next?
Cooking the seafood with the butter.
Okay. You can heat up the pan. Then here.
What is this for? So that if the food drops? No, what is it for?
Good question. I actually also don't know. What's that for, guys? Huh?
This like skirting thing around the stove. What is it for?
Maybe you just...
This thing. It's what? What's this?
Technology.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Fried scallops.
And prawns.
With the butter, season. Do you need seasonings?
Maybe. What spatula do you usually use to cook?
This one.
I'm always very scared I will overcook things.
Okay, prawns. Now, do we wait for it to heat up a little bit? So, do we want to have color on the seafood or no?
Yes.
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 Okay, so maybe you should wait for a bit.
Okay.
Okay. The trick here is actually to add a little bit of oil.
Even to the butter?
A little bit, yeah, so that the butter don't burn and brown so quickly.
Thanks for the tip. I shall let my mother know.
Hey, don't.
Hey, don't.
Your mother is the pro cook.
This is way more prawns than the recipe needs, but never mind lah. The more the merrier. We just add more seafood. Okay?
So once you're done, there you can strain it out.
Can you remind me what else goes inside right now?
Yes, chef.
Is it parsley also?
Parsley and wine.
Ooh. Guess we gotta get the wine out of the freezer then.
Okay. So fast. Okay. Not judging. All good. You can turn up the fire a little bit. Or is this how is it supposed to be
No,
done?
I'm always very
Like
scared
slow?
I'll overcook
Okay,
stuff.
no
That's why I
worries.
always put the fire super low. You know,
Can.
err on the side of caution a little bit.
Can you take us back to your elementary days?
Okay, so I started elementary back in 2013. I had just like stopped working or gotten off like a 5-year stint at Resorts World, where I was like working on like the pre-opening and everything. It was super fun, but it also felt like I've been working for 10 years, even though it's only 5. And I kind of really wanted to get back into being more on the creative side and being on like the marketing and like client servicing side. Because even though I was working at Resorts World, I was still in the marketing team, which meant that we were like servicing all the other different departments, right? So I was like, okay, I want to do something a bit more creative. And it just so happened that at that point in time, my brother Russell had just graduated from LaSalle. And my husband, Derek, had also kind of like, was winding down like this sustainability consulting business that he had been running for the past 5 years as well. And they were like, hey, let's start a business of our own. I was like, huh, really? Truth be told, I never had dreams of running my own company. Like, you know, I was always very happy working.
At Resorts World?
No, not working for Resorts World, just like being a producer and working for other people, working freelance actually. Like, not being tied down to any one thing, I suppose. We gotta put in the white wine.
Now?
Yeah. How much wine, huh? What does it say? I cannot see. My eyesight is so bad.
How much wine?
1 cup?
250 ml. 1 cup, yes.
Okay. Go.
Hot enough? Okay.
Okay.
You say I pour.
Okay. A few more seconds there we pour. Anyway.
What's 1 cup? Okay, yeah,
So
explain.
my husband was like, all right, let's do this. Like, now is a good time, you know, like the stars are aligning. You've just, I guess like I was in between jobs. Russell had graduated from school. Is it very warm?
No, it's okay.
It's not.
It's okay.
The
Sorry, I'm
tastiest
sorry to
wine, is
disturb.
it?
I cut you there.
Anyway, so that's how elementary started. And then I roped in my best friend Erica as well, because she had just become a mom and she was looking to have, I guess, like a more flexible employment sort of arrangement, because she was gigging at that point in time. So she was like singing at night, which meant very irregular hours and not something that's so great for like a new mom. So I asked her if she wanted to join us as a writer, and she was like, yes, sure. And so that's how elementary started, from our living room.
Wow.
Just like a bunch of us.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And then what was like the most rewarding part of this journey of running elementary?
So we ran elementary for about 9 years. I honestly think that the most rewarding part of it wasn't like the work, but getting to just like work with your best friend and your brother and your husband and still maintain this like amazing relationship, but then also like the people that we then added on to our elementary family, like the team that we built. I think it's really like the friendships that came out of that I think I hold the most dear out of like everything at elementary. And along the way, we also made really good friends out of clients, which is, I feel, kind of rare and really special. Yeah. Also we got to do kind of cool projects along the way. Wow, damn heavy.
Yeah, you were discussing the most rewarding part in working with your friends and your family.
Yeah, I mean, recently we just kind of like met up again, a whole bunch of us from like different points in time of elementary, you know, so people who've been there since the start. Yeah, like a mini reunion of sorts. People who'd been there since the start, and then like people who were there towards the end. And some of them who had actually never met before, and then they finally got a chance to meet in real life. And this happened, I want to say, the start of the year, so somewhere in January. We went to Bad Habits, had pizza, had way too much pizza. And it was so nice because like everybody got along, and like, you know, it was really like a nice family reunion. And even though we unfortunately decided to close the company back in 2022 when Charlie was sick, and I guess we'll get to that later, I think for me it never felt like I failed because we're still so tight, like all of us. Like we still have this family unit, you know. Yeah, and I think we all grew from the experience.
Lovely.
Yes.
Okay, what's next?
The next step is to make the roux.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
With this liquid, right?
Not yet. I mean, it's butter and flour first, and then later we put the poaching.
Okay, how much butter, how much flour? Okay, let me clean the pan first. So your scope of work at elementary was everything.
I mean, you run business as well,
I
so
get
you
it,
know,
I get it.
right? I was supposed to be just like marketing director. But I guess because of my creative background as well, and the fact that like I was still very much a producer at heart, I feel like I kind of straddled between like the marketing team, the business team, and then the creative team as well. Even though Russell, my brother, was the creative director, I would kind of pop in every now and then to just like,
I see.
you know,
Is
suss
Russell
things
still
out.
doing something creative?
Russell left me to become an insurance agent.
Okay.
Russell left elementary in 2017, right when I was going to go on maternity leave because I was giving birth to my second daughter. I will never forget the day he told me he was leaving me because I
What was your
cried
reaction?
in our meeting room, and our meeting room was like full glass. And I just like,
Hey bro, where you gonna go? Insurance?
Yeah. He decided to join Prudential, which is where my dad had been working since before I was born. So my dad had just retired, and Russell decided he was going to continue the family legacy and join Prudential as well.
Sorry.
He's been doing so great. I'm so proud of you, Russell.
But didn't he feel like he was also helping people at elementary?
I guess in a very different way, you know. Like, you're
So
not-
when you guys
you're
do,
not
like-
exactly saving
Sorry.
lives doing branding.
Yeah.
But I mean, insurance.
But it's also
is really a
transforming lives,
lifesaver.
right? Transforming
Yeah.
brands.
Transforming brands.
Yeah.
But I think he wanted to do something more personal.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like Russell's a really caring, sweet guy, and really invested in people and like helping them and bringing out the best in them. So I think it was a great career switch, even though at that point in time it didn't feel like it for me. I came to terms with it very quickly.
So sweet are you? What a great sister.
And now he's my insurance agent. I feel like you asking me on this show is like revenge for me making you do DBS or something.
No lah.
All the lines that you and all the lines that you.
I'm still struggling with my lines lah, so nothing has changed.
But you're like you're not memorizing anything now, so it's okay, right?
I'm not memorizing, I'm just reading, looking at my notes a little bit once in a while.
I mean, you were also looking at your notes on DBS, but it was a lot of lines that you had to memorize.
Still was okay lah.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too.
I'm just first time I know.
But now you speak so much on camera, so clearly. It has opened up a whole new world for you.
Okay, Rue.
I'm just waiting for it to melt. Yeah. So do we have to add oil again?
No, not this stage.
Okay, just checking. In case I'm doing something wrong again, you know.
But what are some next few steps? Maybe I can start prepping them.
You know, now that I'm not running my own company, a lot of people ask me like, don't you miss it? Isn't
Yeah,
it hard
do you miss
working
it?
for someone else? No. I love it.
You love not.
I love not having to worry about overheads. I miss the team, you know, but like I think
what was the
finally
dynamic like,
I
man?
feel like I can finally focus on the work and the creativity and
Okay.
not just be like inundated with stressing over bills and payments and overheads and all those fun
Sorry.
finance stuff. Yeah.
And where did your husband Derek go after you guys closed the company?
After we closed the company, okay, we didn't close it per se. Like it still exists, right? It's not like we unregistered it or whatever, but like we let the full-time team go, and then we still had projects that we needed to finish up because we were still in the middle of like retainers and stuff. So Derek has continued to kind of like service those accounts. Slowly, boss.
Why?
Okay.
Rue don't need to slowly on.
This is like contrary to what my mother has taught me, but maybe it's because she thinks I'm a clumsy person, and so she's always asked me to do it slowly.
Or should you say like put the fly in
Little by little.
little by little?
Yeah. Okay, like, I guess you're right. It's totally fine.
So when you were doing elementary, you had Charlie and
I started elementary when I was pregnant, or I started elementary just a few months before I found out I was pregnant with Charlie. So then it felt like, damn, I'm gonna have two babies at the same time. Become a first-time mom at the same time that I was gonna become a first-time business owner.
how do you manage it, man?
I managed it by just combining the both. Like I would bring her to the office all the time. We had a playpen in the office. Like everybody was great about that, you know, like take turns to keep her company. But she was also just such a chill baby, and she's still like a really chill kid right now. So having her around was actually kind of easy. And she tricked me into thinking that being a mom was easy as well.
Oh, really?
Because I was like, what?
What?
Piece of cake, I can do this. And then I had Dahlia, and I was like, what did I get myself into? Because they could not be more different as kids. I guess that's what makes it fun. I'm scared. Is it like burning?
No? But in this journey, like, how do you still stay engaged in like your passions, you know?
Well, I'm very lucky because I have a village that helps as well, right? I live with my mother-in-law, and we have a helper who's been with us for a long time. And my parents are super hands-on as well, and they love being involved with the kids. So they help with like school runs, they bring the kids over. I think my parents have more energy than...
Is this supposed to look like that?
It is supposed to be smoother than this.
Smoother.
Yes.
Like more watery, right?
Not watery, but not so clumpy.
Okay, what
So-
should we do now? How should we rectify this?
I feel like...
Pour in more seafood water?
Yeah, maybe. I feel this is why we shouldn't like talk and not
Wow,
pay
don't
attention
talk
to
ah.
food at the same time.
I'll just add some water, okay?
Okay. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Auntie. I'll fix it.
There, it looks better already.
More water. Okay, what's next? What next? What's next? What's next?
Well, what was I talking about as well? This is the fallacy of people saying that men cannot multitask and women are better multitaskers. Absolutely not true, as evidenced by what just happened here. Okay, how do I still maintain a life
Yep.
and
Engage
keep
in
3 children alive at the same time?
and be such, yeah.
Look, he made it amazing. No, really. I think it's number one is getting my kids involved in everything that I do as well. So that even means like bringing all 3 of them to the office sometimes, where they have a lot of fun and then nobody gets any work done. And I mean like until today, like they still come to the office. Like I'll go to a meeting and I'll come out and I'll find my children covered in stickers. Like
Aw.
they raided the stationery cupboard or something like that. But I have awesome colleagues who help babysit while I'm busy and stuff. And I just bring them out with me all the time and just involve them
cute.
in life. And yeah, and then have really amazing parents who have
You
so
take
much
them to shoots
energy.
as well?
I do take them to shoots as well. With the older ones, obviously it's easier. With Edie, no chance. I would be carrying her right now and she would be talking over me and telling me not to talk.
How old is Edie?
She is 3 this September, but
3 this
extremely vocal. And I think
So you gave
like,
birth during COVID?
no, I gave birth at the
You were pregnant during COVID?
well, ish. I guess it was like the tail end of COVID already. I gave birth in 2022, at the end of 2022.
Ah, so you were
coming
pregnant
out of
during COVID lah.
I was pregnant during COVID. Yeah.
How was that experience like?
It was fine. I mean, we were out of lockdown already. It was just that going to the doctor and the hospital was a bit harder.
It's quite a challenge, I guess.
It was a bit more troublesome. But other than that, it was okay.
Yep.
We're good.
Okay,
we have
what's
to put in
next?
cheese and nutmeg and cook over low heat. That's it. I really enjoy having my kids around though. Even though sometimes it's slightly less
Should we have
convenient to do
invited them
things.
here? Lah?
You should. Dahlia loves
Where are they
helping in the
now?
kitchen. Charlie will pretend she's interested. She'll
Where
come.
are they now?
They're in school. Yes, they're in school right now. But Dahlia is she's very cute. She likes to find recipes online, like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. Like now she's obsessed with this new video series called 100 Different Potato Recipes. So
Oh, the one from
Tasty?
Tasty,
yeah,
yes,
tasty.
yes.
So because of her, we're going to be eating lots of potatoes basically. But we made one the other day which was like a potato pizza. Basically substituting a pizza crust with little potatoes.
Oh,
So you boil it and then you smash it and then you put pizza toppings on top of it. But it's fun.
is that gonna go into the
The Christmas,
Christmas tradition?
Actually, why
rest-
not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Everybody will love it.
yeah, especially the kids. Okay, can I put in
Yes,
cheesy
chef.
things? When it comes to cooking with cheese, my mother's mantra is more is more. And
More
always put
is-
more cheese. So, yep.
Is that I already added the nutmeg?
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Put back. Wash hands.
Are we having more cheese?
Yes, we are. The other things that we cook a lot on Christmas Eve, like we always cook on Christmas Eve, would be lasagna. Like, our lasagna is the best.
The best.
The best. And like really good mushroom sauce. And then the usual Christmas things like turkey and steak. Steak is Derek's domain, so he does all the tomahawk.
So all your family members do little things.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say like the best cook in our family though is Brendan, but Brendan doesn't live in Singapore, so unfortunately we don't really get to sample his cooking as much as we would like to. Also, when he's back in Singapore, he's like, I'm on vacation, I'm not gonna cook. Okay.
So do you have any like role models? Or like anybody that inspires you? Female figure.
One of my like greatest role models in life is actually a cousin of mine. She's 10 years older than me. She grew up, like she was raised by my grandma and my mom, and so we've always been very close because we've seen each other since we were kids, and even until now, like I always go to her for life advice and stuff. And I think she's just like an incredible example of how like you cannot let your childhood or your parents define who you are. You can't blame them for like your shortcomings or like failures in life, because she has truly risen above and beyond like everything that she's had to grow up with, like all the adversities she faced as a child. And she's just like incredibly smart and talented and funny and kind and just so generous, not just like with her love and her money. She's like, she spoils my children so much, but just really generous like with her time. And has always just been there for me. Like when Charlie was sick and I had just given birth to Edie as well, like she volunteered to stay in hospital with Charlie like for like almost a week, just so that Derek and I could be at home with Dahlia and with Edie, because Edie was just like a month or 2 months old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was during COVID, so they were just stuck in the room. I couldn't do
Amazing.
anything, but she was like, I'll do it. Like, don't worry about it. Anytime you need something, like, I'll be there.
How do you even manage to overcome all of this? Like,
Overcome all of what?
like I mean, with Charlie, with being pregnant, and
Yeah.
COVID lockdown.
So, backstory for people who don't know. Well, back in 2022, when I was 6 months pregnant, I found out that my oldest daughter, Charlie, who was 7.5 at that time, she was like midway through primary 2, she was diagnosed with leukemia. People always say like, oh, like you're so strong and like you're so amazing and everything, but honestly, I think I just did what
A mother would
any
do.
parent would, not just a mom, but any
Yep.
dad or whatever would, right? I was talking to somebody about like the concept of like holding on to hope, and like continuing to be hopeful throughout that really trying time. I think that actually what was most important to me, apart from like remaining hopeful, my priority was really just giving Charlie hope and letting her know that, this was like a scary thing that she was going through and everything, and it was a serious illness, but that there was hope, and she just had to remain focused on like getting through the treatments and stuff like that, and just giving her all the comfort and support that we could as a family to make her feel actually as normal as possible. So I think just keeping ourselves busy with all of that, like trying to provide like a normal life for her while she was sick and going through her treatment, and then like for Dahlia as well, so that she didn't feel abandoned, because she was at home a lot while we were in hospital, and then there was a newborn baby on the way. There's just so many things to think about. I don't think you have time to sit down and feel sorry for yourself or like cry about it. Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day, and I think maybe I only really allowed myself to like cry, like sob, maybe like 5 times. Yeah. And never in front of the kids because I didn't want them to be afraid. But the true champion and the hero in this story is really Charlie, because she's so calm. Like through it all, she never complained, never asked like, like why me? Why do I have to go through this? She never enjoyed like the procedures where she had to undergo like general anesthetic, like she would have to undergo GA for some of her procedures. I think that was probably the part that she hated the most. But other than that, she was great. Like she tackled it with so much grace and maturity for 7.5, 8-year-old girl. And so actually she is my inspiration, honestly. Like, I would look at her, the person who was going through all of this, and she was just so chill about it. And I would tell myself, if she can be so brave, like, why can't you? Yeah.
So how is she today?
She's great. Yeah. She's doing wonderfully. Of course, there are certain health complications that she has now because of all the treatment that she underwent. So, like, the bone in her right foot, there's like little holes in it. So it's called a vascular necrosis, if I'm not wrong, which means that part of her bone has died because of all the radiation and stuff like that. So she can't do high impact sports. Like, she loves rock climbing, but she can't do bouldering. She can't do gymnastics anymore. Her running is a little bit slower, but I feel like it hasn't really stopped her from being active and living her life to the fullest. So, go Charlie.
Go Charlie!
Yeah.
She like to cook?
Actually, no. She likes to eat, but she will feign interest in helping me in the kitchen, but she'll just like scatter a few things and be like, okay, I'm going outside now, I'll set the plates when you want me to.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, but Dahlia will be the one who will stay in the kitchen and she'll help me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're almost done. We just have to combine them now, put them in the shells. Why are you looking at him for?
No, he was looking at me.
We just have to combine it now.
Okay.
And then we can put them in the shells.
Okay.
Sprinkle cheese on top.
I'm excited
To eat, is it?
to try, yes, and to eat.
And then we can just bake it for a little bit.
Yes, chef.
I love that we never even tried tasting it while we were cooking.
I was tasting. But you should taste it.
Okay, to see
Tell me if
it's-
is this
if my mom would
your
approve,
family
is it?
heirloom traditional recipe?
Just now, Jerome asked me if my mom has cooked all the recipes in this book, because
I
look how
know.
thick it is. And I realized that no, we've
Cooked like
only
2 or
made
3.
like 2 or 3 recipes. So, maybe for the rest of the year, we should try out more recipes in this book. Okay, Mom? But also, maybe it's quite thick right now,
Add more water.
and we can add a little bit more water. Of course, I should have done this before we added the seafood back in, but it is what it is.
I want to ask you about empowerment actually.
Okay.
Like, what does woman empowerment mean to you in today's world?
I know people see feminism as a threat to masculinity, but it really isn't that. And like, people who say they're feminists are not out to attack the patriarchy just for the fun of it. But I think it's really about like dismantling a lot of biases that have been passed on since, I want to say, the dawn of time, right? And these biases have, I guess, resulted in women thinking that they're not deserving of things, or men thinking that women are not deserving of equal treatment. And I think empowerment for me as a mom really just means letting my kids know that they can and should always have a voice, and that their opinions matter, and that they deserve to be seen as equals,
Yep.
and that they should not be afraid of standing up for what is right and for what matters. So it's really about empowering women to have a voice, I think. Yeah. I think so often we are so scared of the way that we may be perceived by our friends, in the workplace, just by society in general, that like our first instinct is to shrink instead of making ourselves larger. And I know that it seems as if women have all the power these days, but I think women are just realizing that they have a voice and they're trying to make themselves heard. And maybe it's just like not something that a lot of the world is used to, and therefore it seems like we're yelling, but yeah, we just want our voices to be heard.
So what's your diet like now?
What is my diet right now?
Yeah.
My diet is less healthy than I care to admit. I think like also because the nature of my work means that I have very irregular meals. Like the timing of my meals are very irregular. If I'm on shoot, I hardly sit down to eat. Like I'll have a coffee in the morning and maybe like a bun, and then I might not eat until like dinner time or after we wrap, whatever time that is. So when I'm on shoot, I think like light meals that are convenient are like what I gravitate towards, which would be like sandwiches, you know. But I also enjoy quite a lot of home cooking. I'm very lucky for that because
Well, not you cook lah, like
not me. I just said my working hours are very irregular. But
you
on
don't work every day, right? Do you work every day?
almost every day.
Okay.
Yeah. If I do cook, it's usually on Sundays, like over the weekend.
okay.
Yeah, and even
That's
then
the
it would be like,
cook-off with your siblings, right?
which hasn't happened for a while. But like my husband and I, we do try and like cook on weekends as well, and then we let the kids decide what they want to eat. Which means that we have pizza all the time. No, just kidding.
You guys make pizzas at home?
No, we don't. Just joking. Which is a lot of stuff. Like would then be like on the barbecue, or like my kids love pastas, or now a lot of potato stuff, thanks to Dahlia.
So cute, your family is just so.
Or like
warm.
sandwiches.
I'm a bit jealous, when every time I see
You want me to adopt you? Is it?
Instagram stories. I'm like, wow, your Christmas, like everybody is together, laughing.
My family is definitely a live to eat family. We love food. All of us collectively love eating. So we're always trying to like, if we're not having big meals at home together, and every meal at home with us is a big meal because there's so many of us, right? I have like 3 younger siblings, and then if their partners are around, and my parents, and my kids, and so it's always noisy in our house. My parents used to say that the neighbors always think we're fighting over meals, but actually it's just everybody trying to speak at the same time. So if we're not eating at home, then we try and like, check out new places to eat, whether it's in the neighborhood or somewhere a little bit nicer. Actually, our neighborhood has a lot of good restaurants now, right?
Like which neighborhood? Your parents' neighborhood?
As in like
to look around?
Joo Chiat.
Oh, Joo Chiat, yeah.
Yeah. Like a nice...
I think I bumped your parents at Asador before.
Yeah, because you
I live literally above
Asador, yeah.
They go there quite often, huh?
Yeah, also because one of the bosses of Asador was our next door neighbor. Is.
Oh, okay.
So my parents like making friends with their neighbors, basically. And so, yeah, neighborly spirit. Go and like support your neighbor's business. That's them. And also, because of that, I have stopped buying them Christmas presents, and every year now I just take them for a nice dinner as their Christmas present. So we get to have like a nicer meal together.
What do you mean? Well, you guys just had a big party during last Christmas.
No, I mean like I stopped buying them Christmas presents.
Oh, okay. So you guys have a big party and you still take them out for dinner?
Yeah, but like not a Christmas meal, like a new restaurant they want to try.
Okay.
Taking them to Carlitos.
Carlitos is the new Italian restaurant in Joo Chiat, right?
It's not Italian. I mean, it's Spanish.
Spanish.
But I realized that it's like co-owned by the chef or the owner of La Bottega, which is Italian.
Ah.
And then Chef Carlos from Esquina. European food. But it's really good. Yeah. And they've not been
there.
So, gonna take them there.
How's your experience at Carlitos? Oh, okay.
Cannot say it.
Cut.
Off-camera conversation is
Okay, we need to.
scoop them into the shells, sprinkle some cheese. But look at you, you're so pro and you're
I
so
do
efficient.
6, you do 6, okay?
All right, okay. Equitable distribution
Yeah.
of work.
Is this good enough?
I got.
With a bit of sauce on it?
Yep.
Looks good, huh?
All of these shells are from my mom's collection.
She has more, have more.
She has so much silverware at home. It's kind of ridiculous. I think it's one of like the family heirlooms that she'll pass down to us. So this Christmas Eve, I can ask you to come and help us cook as well.
Can. I would love to actually.
Split the load. So
How big's your family? Like when I see your
like
stories,
immediate family.
And when I see your stories, there are like 50 people there.
I mean, immediate family, I have 3 younger brothers. So Russell is the oldest of my 3 younger brothers. He is 4 years younger than me. Then there's Brandon, who lives in Berlin, who's 5 years younger than me. And then there's Daryl, who is 11 years
Brendan.
my junior.
Yes,
Yeah.
I met Brendan before.
Yeah. And then,
In LA, I think.
yeah. And then Daryl, who's 11 years my junior. So there are 4 of us. And then I have 3 daughters.
Oh.
And
But you guys also invite a lot of friends over, close
For
friends.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes. And my mom has like quite a few siblings as well, and then we have the cousins and the kids, and like, but we invite a lot of our friends also. And some of my friends have been coming for this Christmas Eve dinner since we were in secondary school. So that was a long time ago.
So they're just waiting for the invite every year.
3 decades ago.
Oh,
Yeah. You don't even have to wait for an invite. It's just
They just come.
They know that they're invited.
I see,
already.
okay.
Yeah.
here you go, 6.
You have to wait to be uninvited, I think. There was one year where my family decided to go to Spain to celebrate Christmas instead because my parents have bought an apartment in Spain, and everyone was very upset. Like the whole family was. All the friends felt,
Where do I go now?
yeah, nothing to do. It's not Christmas anymore. And so my parents decided never to celebrate Christmas overseas ever again.
But that's so sweet. And also powerful at the same time. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's something that everybody has like grown to look forward to. It's like a really nice way to usher in Christmas and kind of like wrap up the year as well. Because we don't really do a big New Year's Eve thing. Yeah. And on New Year's Eve, like we very rarely these days celebrate it as a family. Like we all kind of like do our own thing. My parents will have their friends over and stuff. So Christmas is really like that nice wrapper on the year for us to do something together.
can't wait to get invited.
Okay, you are invited. Consider this your official invitation, and you are going to make this dish since clearly you are better at executing it than I am.
So we're just gonna put them in the oven, right?
Yeah.
And the seasoning is the lemon juice at the end.
And a little bit more cheese on top.
Also, it's like a gratin also, right?
Yep.
Okay. Grate
Yes.
more cheese? Nope.
No, I think we have enough-ish. I was on shoot at Kata Coffee the other day.
Kata coffee.
Just
Where's
down
Kata?
the road
Oh,
from
okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah. The coffee roaster. And like before the shoot even started, I had spilled coffee all over myself.
You were also at 2050.
I was.
Like a week ago, right?
Yeah, that was part of another
That was
project.
with Free.
Yeah, that was one of like the more fun projects that I've been involved in since joining TSLA. I think because it was like the biggest project that I had under my belt to not just produce but direct as well. I would never call myself a director, but like TSLA has been so kind as to believe in me and give me more opportunities to direct. And this was like, I guess, a really big project for me. So of course I had to ask Jufri, a close friend of ours, to shoot it because I needed to have people around me that I could trust. And he introduced me to the guys at 2050.
I'm sure you know them as well. They're like
No,
Angelos and
I mean,
brothers.
I didn't know any of
Bad
them.
habits.
Yeah, but I only met them that week.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Jeeves was really nice and he let us shoot there. I think also because he didn't know how much equipment we were bringing in.
Oh, so it was like a TikTok shoot.
yeah, the TikTok shoot. Just like an iPhone, But we went in early and we tried to be as quick as possible, and yeah, it was great. The matcha latte there is so good. Never been a
I've
matcha
never
latte
had
fan till I tried the one at 2050 actually.
Because they brew it themselves, right? Actually,
Yeah, but it's so
it's
fun.
pre-brewed.
It's so fun that it comes out of a tap and it's like
Oh,
so
yeah.
futuristic.
How long have you been working at
TSLA.
TSLA?
I joined TSLA, the secret little agency, I want to say in March or April of 2023. So I took a little bit of a break from the time I gave birth in September, the year before that, until I started working for TSLA. It was after closing elementary. I didn't think that I would go back to work so soon actually. I thought I would maybe give myself a year off. But the opportunity presented itself, and I guess I really just at heart like love production and couldn't say no to joining them. Okay, extra seafood for us. This oven will always remind me of roast chicken now. Usually when we make this for Christmas Eve, we just put it in like a big sort of like casserole dish. Because there's so many people and we definitely do not have like 100 scallop shells. Also, plating it like this would take us too much time. I have a bread knife, then I.
Yes.
This is the skinniest baguette I've ever seen.
Their breads are so good though.
Yeah.
Their pastries.
When I don't know if you saw on IG stories, but I have this running joke with them that like they never spell my name right whenever I buy coffee.
Well, how do they spell it?
I mean, I've gotten like SHARMAN, like
Okay.
a lot of SHERs. So I'm still waiting for the day where I go to bingo and someone spells my name
You
correctly.
mean like they don't recognize you?
No, why would they? I don't
You
go
sound
there
like a
every day.
regular.
I don't go there every day. So, but I just find it funny and I'm never going to correct them.
Can you tuck your fingers in when you cut the bread? Yeah. I'm like so afraid that you might like slice a piece off.
Are you a very versatile cook?
Meaning what?
Like, are you able to...
Multitask?
No. I know you're able to multitask better than I am, but I meant like, are you able to come up with, I guess, like, recipes on the fly from multiple cuisines?
Okay, like a black box kind of thing. Then.
Yeah, correct.
I think so. I think that was what we did in school actually. Yeah, that was like our final examination.
I'm sorry, what school?
At Shatec.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So before that, before you actually graduate, like they have this black box, like a mystery box challenge for you.
So what was your mystery box ingredient?
I think there was duck and orange.
So you made...
Chili crab orange. No, just kidding. Okay, so this is it, Charmaine.
This is it.
Do you have any final advice?
My final advice would be, maybe don't talk so much when you're cooking. If you have not committed the recipe to heart, eyeball the recipe and the dish more often. Like, pay attention to what you're cooking, basically. And you know what's the best piece of advice? Cook with someone more experienced than you. Yay!
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thanks.